What if the paralyzing dread that keeps you awake at night could be forged into unshakable mental fortitude? What if your deepest insecurities held the blueprint for your greatest power? What if the shadows you've been running from are actually the raw materials of your transformation? Listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to tell you will sound backwards, counterintuitive, maybe even dangerous. Most people run from fear. They hide their weaknesses. They suppress their darkness, and they think this makes them strong. But they're wrong, dead wrong, because what you resist persists. What you suppress grows stronger. What you hide controls you from the shadows. And running from your darkness doesn't make it disappear, it makes it powerful. But there's another way, an ancient way, the way of the alchemist. The alchemists tried to turn lead into gold. Most failed. Why? Because they were focused on external matter. But the real alchemy, it was never about lead and gold. It was about the mind, about taking the darkest, heaviest parts of yourself, your fears, your weaknesses, your shadows, and transmuting them into pure power. This is mental alchemy, and it's not magic, it's not wishful thinking. It's a deliberate, systematic process of psychological transmutation. And every truly powerful person throughout history has mastered it, whether they called it that or not. Now, let me be clear. This is not comfortable. This is not easy. This requires you to go where most people refuse to go, into your shadows, into your fears, into the parts of yourself you've spent your whole life avoiding. But here's the truth. Your shadows contain gold, hidden, encoded, waiting. And the moment you learn to extract it, everything changes. I'm going to teach you 6 principles, 6 steps of the alchemical process. Each one transforms a piece of your internal lead into gold. And when all 6 are mastered, you don't just overcome your fears. You weaponize them. You don't just accept your weaknesses, you convert them into your most potent strengths. This is the path. Not away from darkness, but through it. Not around fear, but into it. Not despite your shadows, but because of them. Are you ready? Then let's begin the transmutation. First principle, identify your shadow material. The alchemist needs raw material to work with. Can't make gold without lead, right? Same with mental alchemy. You can't transmute what you can't see. You can't transform what you won't acknowledge. And here's where most people fail, right at the beginning. They refuse to look. They deny. They pretend. I'm strong, they say. I don't have fears. I don't have weaknesses. Lies. All lies. Everyone has shadows. Everyone has fears. Everyone has weaknesses. The difference? Some people admit it. Some people hide it. And the ones who hide, they stay weak because you can't transform what you refuse to see. What you hide continues to control you from the shadows, from the subconscious. And you never understand why you can't do certain things, why you freeze in certain situations, why you sabotage yourself. It's because your shadow is running the show, and you won't even look at it. But the ones who admit it, they get stronger. Because what you see, you can work with. What you identify, you can process. And your shadow stops being your enemy. It becomes your raw material, or waiting to be refined into gold. So how do you identify your shadow material? Step 1, brutal inventory. Ask yourself honestly, what am I afraid of? Failure? Rejection? Loneliness? Poverty? Death? Write it down, all of it. No hiding. Step 2, name your weaknesses. What can't I do? Where do I struggle? In what situations do I feel powerless? Write it. No sugarcoating. No excuses. Step 3, find what you avoid. People are defined by what they avoid. What conversations am I not having? What risks am I not taking? What decisions am I postponing? These are markers of shadow material. Step 4. Track your triggers. What situations instantly trigger me? What criticisms make me defensive? What scenarios cause panic? Triggers are unprocessed shadow material, raw, powerful, ready to be mined. Step 5. Locate your resistance. What am I resisting in my life? What needs to change but won't? What habits do I need to break but can't? Resistance points to buried fear. This inventory hurts. I know. Looking at your shadows is uncomfortable. Painful even. But this pain is necessary. The alchemist doesn't fear fire, because fire is the tool of transformation. The mental alchemist doesn't fear pain, because pain is the beginning of awareness. Now, take a piece of paper, take a pen, make your list. My fears, my weaknesses, what I avoid, my triggers, my resistance. E honest, be brutal, because this list is your raw material. This list is the ore from which you'll forge gold. Most people stop here. They make the list. They feel the pain. Now what? They ask. Now you extract the gold. But first, you need to understand the second principle. Second principle, extract the hidden gold. Listen, every fear contains power. Every weakness contains potential. Every shadow contains gold. But you have to look deeper. Most people stay on the surface. I'm afraid of failure, they say, and they stop there. But the mental alchemist goes deeper. Why am I afraid of failure? What is this fear teaching me? What power is hidden in this fear? And here's the secret. Every fear points to a value. If you fear failure, you value success. If you fear rejection, you value connection. If you fear poverty, you value security and freedom. Fear is the guardian of value. Fear says, this matters. This is important. Pay attention. Most people hear fear and retreat, but the alchemist hears differently. This is valuable. That's why I fear it. Which means I want it. Which means I must fight for it. So how do you extract the hidden gold? Technique 1, reverse engineering. Take each fear. Ask, what desire is this fear hiding? Fear of failure? Desire for success. Fear of rejection? Desire for acceptance. Fear is the shadow of desire. Technique 2, identify the value. What value does this fear point to? Fear of poverty. Value of security. Fear of loneliness. Value of connection. Fear is the map to your values. Technique 3, discover the power. If I overcome this fear, what power do I gain? Overcome fear of public speaking, gain power of influence. Overcome fear of risk, gain power of courage. Beyond every fear lies a power. Technique 4, find the lesson. What is this fear trying to teach me? Maybe to be prepared, maybe to be careful, maybe to grow. Fear is a teacher, but only if you listen. Technique 5, extract the motivation. What action is this fear pushing me toward? Fear of failure, prepare better. Fear of rejection, be more authentic. Fear, when used correctly, is motivation. Let me give you an example. A man feared public speaking. For years he ran, avoided, hid. But then he learned mental alchemy. He looked into his fear. Why do I fear this? Fear of judgment. What does that mean? I value others' opinions. If I overcome this, what do I gain? Power to influence, leadership, ability to contribute. And in that moment he saw. His fear wasn't his enemy. His fear was telling him, you should be a leader. You should influence people. But first, you must face this fear. The fear was a map, and the map led to gold. So what did he do? He entered the fear, Started with small groups, grew bigger, each speech easier. Now, he speaks to thousands. His fear became his power because he extracted the hidden gold. You must do the same. Take each fear, find the hidden gold, because your fear isn't your enemy. Fear is encoded power. Learn to decode it. Look at it this way. Fear is information. Most people hear danger, run away. But the alchemist hears valuable territory. Proceed with preparation. Same fear. Different interpretation, different result. Your biggest fear, it's showing you your biggest opportunity. The thing you're most afraid to do, probably the thing you most need to do. The weakness you hide most carefully probably contains your greatest untapped strength. This is the paradox. Your power and your fear occupy the same space. You can't get to the power without going through the fear. The gold is buried in the shadow, and the only way to mine it is to enter the darkness. Most people won't do this. They want the power without the fear, the gold without the shadow, the strength without the weakness. Impossible. The universe doesn't work that way. But you're different. You understand. The gold is in the shadow, and you're willing to mine it. Third principle, transmute through deliberate exposure. The alchemist puts ore into fire. Why? Because fire burns away impurities, leaves pure gold. Same with mental alchemy. You take fear, you expose it to controlled heat. The heat processes it, purifies it, transforms it into power. But listen carefully, not random exposure, deliberate exposure, controlled, gradual, strategic, because too fast burns you. Too slow does nothing, but the right pace transforms you. Deliberate exposure works in 3 stages. Stage 1, gradual approach. You can't dive into your biggest fear. You start small. Afraid of public speaking? First speak to 1 friend, then 5 people, then 10, then 50. Gradual. Each step strengthens you. Stage 2, controlled exposure. You maintain control. You decide when, where, how much. This is critical. Control creates safety. Safety allows progress. You're not being thrown into the deep end. You're wading in deliberately, consciously. Stage 3, repeated processing. Once isn't enough. Again, again, again. Each repetition weakens the fear slightly, strengthens you slightly. Eventually, fear dissolves. Power remains. How do you do this practically? Step 1, create a fear hierarchy. Rank from least scary to most scary. 1, 1-0 scale. 1 is slightly uncomfortable. 10 is paralyzing terror. Step 2, start at the bottom. Level 1 or 2, something you can do but makes you slightly uncomfortable. Step 3, expose yourself. Do it. Small, but do it. Fear of speaking? Say something to 2 people. Fear of rejection? Make a small request. Step 4, stay and feel. Feel the discomfort. Don't run. Stay. Breathe. Observe. Just discomfort, not death. Step 5, repeat. Same level until comfortable. Then move to next level. Step 6, escalate. Level 3, then 4, then 5. Gradual, consistent, brave but smart. This process takes months, sometimes years, but the result is guaranteed. Because the human brain is an adaptation machine. If you expose yourself consistently, the brain stops seeing it as threat. Oh, this is normal, not dangerous, and fear vanishes. Real example. A woman feared flying. Panic attack level. Didn't fly for 20 years. But then she used deliberate exposure. Day 1, went to airport. Just watched. Day 2, checked in. Day 3, boarded plane. Didn't take off, just sat. Day 4, one-stop flight. Day 5, 2 stops. 6 months later, world tour. Fear gone. Because deliberate exposure works. You can do this. Choose your fear. Build hierarchy. Start small. Stay and feel. Repeat. Escalate. Watch your fear transform into power. And here's what happens. Each exposure doesn't just reduce fear. It builds evidence. I did it and survived. I faced it and nothing terrible happened. I'm stronger than I thought. This evidence rewrites your identity. I'm not someone who fears public speaking. I'm someone who speaks publicly. New identity, new reality. The transformation isn't just psychological. It's neurological. Your brain literally rewires. New neural pathways. Old fear circuits weaken. New power circuits strengthen. This is measurable, scientific, real. So when someone tells you, just face your fears, they're not wrong. They're just incomplete. It's not just face. It's deliberately, gradually, repeatedly face, with control, with strategy, with intelligence. This is the alchemy, taking the raw fear, processing it through controlled exposure, and extracting pure power. Fourth principle, forge mental fortitude. The alchemist purifies gold, then shapes it into armor, into weapons, into valuable objects. Same with mental alchemy. You process fear, then forge it into fortitude. Mental fortitude is what? Unshakable strength, resistance to external pressure, resilience under stress, capacity to handle the complex stresses of 2206's digital and economic landscape. Because the world is getting harder, more complex, more demanding, weak minds collapse, strong minds thrive. Mental fortitude has 3 layers. Layer 1, cognitive resilience, flexible thinking, problem solving, adaptation to new situations. Most people think rigidly, only one way. But the resilient person thinks flexibly. First way failed, try second, third, fourth. Never quits, because mental flexibility. Layer 2, emotional resilience, emotional regulation, stress management, panic control. Most people are slaves to emotions. Stress comes, they panic. Failure comes, they collapse. But the resilient person regulates. Stress exists. Normal. Breathe, focus, continue. Layer 3, physical resilience, energy management, sleep, nutrition, exercise. Because mind connects to body. Tired body, weak mind. Strong body, strong mind. The resilient person optimizes body, and this supports mental resilience. How do you forge mental fortitude? Practice 1, strategic stress. Deliberately stress yourself. Cold showers, fasting, hard exercise, difficult conversations. Why? Because stress in controlled doses builds resilience. Like a vaccine, small dose of virus creates immunity. Small dose of stress creates mental immunity. Practice 2, view criticism as data. Most people see criticism as personal attack, defend. But the resilient person sees criticism as data. Interesting. This person sees from this angle. Is it accurate? No. But understanding this perspective strengthens me. Criticism doesn't weaken. It informs. Practice 3, failure simulation. Imagine worst-case scenario. Detailed. What if everything goes wrong? Then ask, would I survive? Yes. Would I recover? Yes. Then what's there to fear? This simulation reduces fear, increases resilience. Practice 4, feedback loop. After every challenge, ask, what did I learn? How did I grow? How do I do better next time? This loop turns every challenge into growth opportunity, and resilience increases with each cycle. Practice 5. Update your armor. Every new challenge adds an armor layer. Got fired? Now I don't fear being fired, because it happened, and I survived. Actually got stronger. Every experience adds a layer. Over time, you become nearly invincible. A story. An entrepreneur's first company failed. Broke him, but he recovered. Second company succeeded. Then competitor sued him. Stress, but he endured. Won. Then economic crisis. Sales dropped, but he adapted. Survived. Each challenge made him more resilient. Now, nothing shakes him, because his mental armor strengthened with each experience. You can build this armor. Every challenge is material. Every failure is a layer. Every stress is a test. Embrace it. Process it. Watch your resilience grow. And here's the secret about fortitude. It's not about never feeling fear or stress. It's about functioning at peak levels, despite fear and stress. The fortified mind doesn't say, I'm not afraid. It says, I'm afraid and I'm acting anyway. This is power, not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. Not fearlessness, but fear-powered action. The fear becomes fuel, the stress becomes energy, the challenge becomes catalyst. Most people wait for fear to disappear before acting. The fortified person acts while afraid, and the action itself processes the fear. Movement through fear transforms it. Paralysis in fear amplifies it. So forge your fortitude, not by avoiding stress, by deliberately seeking it, processing it, building from it. Each processed fear becomes a layer of psychological armor. Each survived challenge becomes proof of your capacity. Each win and each loss becomes wisdom. The 2026 landscape requires this. The digital overwhelm, the economic uncertainty, the social fragmentation, the constant change. Most minds will buckle, but yours, forged in the fire of deliberate exposure, strengthened by processed pain, armored with wisdom from every battle. You won't just survive the complexity. You'll thrive in it, because complexity is just raw material, and you're an alchemist. You know how to transmute chaos into order, stress into strength, challenge into growth. Fifth principle. Create the alchemy engine. The alchemist doesn't process once and stop. No, continuous. Because every new ore is a new opportunity. Same with mental alchemy. You don't transform one fear and finish. You create a system, an engine, that processes every challenge automatically, turns everything into power. The alchemy engine is a feedback loop. 4 stages. Stage 1, perception. Challenge or fear appears. Most people react automatically. Run, attack, deny. But the alchemist pauses. A challenge, interesting. This is raw material. Alchemy time. Stage 2, analysis. What fear is hidden here? What weakness is showing? What lesson exists? Quick but deep analysis. Not superficial, essential. Stage 3, transformation. How do I process this raw material? Which practice do I use? Deliberate exposure, cognitive reframing, strategic stress. Choose the tool. Apply it. Stage 4, integration. What did I gain from this? What power developed? What armor layer added? Integrate the learning into identity. I'm now someone who handles this type of challenge. And the loop repeats. Every challenge, every fear, every stress passes through this loop. Each cycle makes you stronger. Over time, this loop automates. Initially, conscious effort required. Stop, analyze, transform, integrate. But with practice, the subconscious automates it. Challenge comes. Mind instantly. Raw material. Let's process. Transforms it. Automatic. Fast. Efficient. This is your alchemy engine. Once built, you use it everywhere. Work stress, engine. Relationship conflict, engine. Financial challenge, engine. Health issue, engine. Everything passes through. Everything converts to power. How do you build it? Step 1, daily practice. Every day, consciously run at least one challenge through the loop, small or big, building the habit. Step 2, keep records. Journal. What challenge came today? How did I process? What did I learn? Writing strengthens integration. Step 3, accelerate. Initially, loop is slow, takes minutes, but with practice, accelerates. Seconds, eventually, automatic. Step 4, expand scope. Initially, only big challenges, but over time, process everything. Even small discomforts, everything becomes fuel for the engine. The feedback loop makes you a learning machine. Machines don't stay static. They evolve. You too. Each loop is evolution. Each challenge is evolution opportunity. Continuous evolution equals infinite growth. Think about it. Most people experience the same challenges over and over. Same triggers, same patterns, same failures. Why? No feedback loop, no processing. They react. But don't learn, don't grow, don't change. But with the alchemy engine, every challenge teaches. Every mistake strengthens. Every pain transmutes. Nothing is wasted. Everything serves growth. You become anti-fragile. Nassim Taleb's concept. Things that gain from disorder. Most people are fragile. Stress breaks them. But you gain from stress. It makes you stronger because you have the engine that converts stress into strength. This is the difference between surviving and thriving. Survival is enduring challenges. Thriving is growing from them. Survival is getting through. Thriving is getting better. Your alchemy engine ensures you don't just get through challenges, you get better from them. Each one, without exception. This is the path to exponential growth. Not linear improvement, exponential. Because each challenge makes you better at processing the next challenge. Compound growth of capability. Sixth principle, scale your transmutation. The alchemist starts small, makes small amounts of gold, then optimizes the process. Scales up, mass production. Same with mental alchemy. You start with small fears, then bigger fears, then complex systemic stresses. Scaling is the mark of mastery. The 2026 world is complex. Digital age stresses, economic uncertainty, social division, information bombardment, constant change. Most people are overwhelmed. Their mental capacity can't handle this complexity. But the alchemist scales, uses this complexity as fuel. Scaling has 3 dimensions. Dimension 1, scope. Initially one fear, then multiple fears simultaneously. Then your entire life through the alchemy lens. Every area, every relationship, every challenge. Dimension 2, complexity. Initially simple fears, public speaking, rejection. Then complex fears, identity crisis, existential dread, systemic failure. Complexity increases, but your engine adapts. Dimension 3, speed. Initially, slow processing, hours, days, but with scaling, speed increases, minutes, seconds, real-time transformation. Challenge appears, instantly processed, converted to power. How do you scale to handle modern stresses? Digital stress, information overload, social media comparison, constant connectivity pressure. Alchemy approach. This is the attention economy's game. I control my attention. I strategize information consumption. I use comparison as motivation. I connect when it serves purpose. Stress converts to power. Economic uncertainty, job insecurity, inflation, future anxiety. Alchemy approach. Uncertainty means opportunity. Insecurity is time to develop flexibility. I create multiple income streams. I learn valuable skills. I build financial resilience. Uncertainty becomes growth fuel. Social division, polarization, conflict, isolation. Alchemy approach. I become a bridge. I understand different perspectives, but don't lose my identity. I'm firm in values, flexible in approach. I use social challenge to develop empathy and leadership. Division converts to connection skill. Constant change, technology, business models, social structure. Everything changing. Alchemy approach. Change is the only constant. I become change master. I maximize learning capacity. I increase adaptation speed. I use change as competitive advantage. Change becomes power multiplier. Scaling means unlimited growth because the world provides infinite raw material, infinite challenges, infinite stress, infinite fear. For most people, this is a problem, but for the alchemist, this is a gold mine. Infinite transformation opportunities, infinite power sources. Look at it this way. Every challenge in the world is raw material for your growth. Every difficult person is practice for your patience. Every failure is a lesson in resilience. Every rejection is training in persistence. Every stress is fuel for your strength. Nothing is wasted. Everything serves. This is the mindset of the scaled alchemist. The world isn't happening to you. The world is happening for you. Every event is curriculum. Every challenge is training. Every difficulty is opportunity. Most people see the world as hostile, threatening, overwhelming. But the alchemist sees it differently. The world is a forge, designed to strengthen you. Each challenge is the hammer. Each stress is the fire. Each fear is the raw material. And you're the blade being forged. With each strike, you get sharper. With each heat, you get stronger. With each processing, you get purer. Till you're no longer soft metal. You're tempered steel, unbreakable, sharp, powerful. This is scaling, not just handling one fear, but using every fear, every challenge, every stress as material for your continuous forging. The result? You become a force of nature, unstoppable, because everything that would break others makes you stronger. Now let me tell you the complete truth. Mental alchemy is not easy, not comfortable. Looking at shadows hurts. Entering fears terrifies. Processing is difficult. But the result? The result is extraordinary, because you're no longer a slave to your fears. You're their master. You use them as fuel. You convert weakness to weapon. You transmute shadow to gold. And this power makes you unstoppable. Most people will never take this journey. They'll run from pain, avoid discomfort, deny their shadows, and stay weak their entire lives. And when dying, they'll say, I wish I'd faced my fears. I wish I'd transformed my shadows. I wish I'd extracted the gold. But you're different. You listen to this message. You learn the 6 principles. Now the choice is yours. Choice 1, run. Run from your shadows. Hide your fears. Stay weak. Stay comfortable. But stay small. Choice 2, transform. Enter your shadows. Face your fears. Extract the gold. Get stronger. Be uncomfortable. But grow massive. Most people choose 1. because easy. But you, which will you choose? If you choose two, here's your roadmap. Today, identify shadow material, make list, fears, weaknesses, avoidances. Be honest. This week, extract hidden gold. Find power in each fear. Find value. Find lesson. This month, begin deliberate exposure. Choose one fear. Build hierarchy. Start small, progress gradually. This quarter, forge mental fortitude. Strategic stress, view criticism as data. Failure simulation, thicken your armor. This year, automate feedback loop. Every challenge through engine, every stress to power. Lifetime, scale, bigger fears, more complex systems, faster transformation, infinite growth. This is the path of mental alchemy, ancient wisdom, modern psychology, combined, offered to you free, because the world needs this knowledge. You need this knowledge. Let me tell you one final truth. Your shadows are your greatest treasure, because everyone's shadows are different. Everyone's fears are unique, and this unique shadow is the code of your unique power. Someone else's shadow is their gold. Your shadow is your gold. Can't be copied, can't be stolen. Only yours, and only you can extract it. Most people say, I want to be like someone else. But this is foolishness, because someone else's shadow doesn't exist in you. Their gold isn't yours, but your shadow, yours. And your gold, you must extract it. This means individual power. No one can think like you. No one has your perspective. No one lived your experiences. And this uniqueness is your competitive advantage. If you transform your shadows, now go. Enter your shadows without fear, prepared, armed with tools. Extract the gold, transform, claim your power, because your shadows contain gold, hidden, encoded, waiting for you, waiting to be extracted, waiting to be transformed. Become the alchemist, the mental alchemist. Turn fear to power, weakness to weapon, darkness to light, and conquer the world with newfound strength. Your shadows are no longer enemy. They're your treasure, your mine, your source of gold. Dig, process, transform, and get rich. Mental alchemy, ancient wisdom, powerful technique, deepest transformation, now yours. Use it. Become unstoppable.